All right, so what I'm reading here with the Five of Waters, there's some kind of sadness. This feels like a recent past thing. The Chariot being the next card, it's something that has been overcome, or some would hope to overcome quickly, have victory and success. Yeah, definitely something that you want to take action on. You want to lead with courage, with passion. But some of you feel like you need to take a pause. You need to take a moment. You need to get another perspective. You need to meditate on it. Some of you have already done this, and that's what has made you feel like you're ready to take the lead. Down here, the Nine of Fire, that's enduring. It's overcoming continuous battle after battle after battle. It is the card of the Wounded Warrior. It's also putting in a lot of time and effort into something, and being underneath this collaboration card, some of you have put your blood, sweat, and tears into something that could be a group project, or it could be a multifaceted physical project. Possibly there's multiple different components. Perhaps you're building something physical. For some of you, I heard you could be building homes. That's specific to someone. That could be a confirmation for you, or it could just mean pay closer attention. Seven of Cups underneath the Adalita of Fire. That's a lot of options that you want to take, different directions you want to take action on. Having different choices on how you can create from this passion moving forward. Also, keep in mind that Adalita of Fire, being the Knight of Wands, has been this Wounded Warrior, has been the Knight of Fire. So if this is more than one person, I'm sensing one person very much is still at the end of their battles, so to speak. And somebody has already gone through that. But they aren't quite this King of Wands over here, this Curandera of Fire. That seems like something ambitious that both parties, if I'm feeling specifically for two individuals or two groups or two components in this, are aspiring to be this leader. Or lead on some kind of project. There could be some competition here for some of you, especially with the Seven of Cups. Possibly the third player or third party, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean somebody else that you want. It could be somebody that oversees the project, approves the project, if this is specifically a project for some of you. There's a lot of options in deciding who's going to take it to the next level. This could also be a lot of obstacles and a lot of confusion, a lot of looking at everything but not really being able to see which one is going to fill your cup. So maybe having too many options. This could also be that whatever project you're working on has become oversaturated, convoluted, difficult to perceive what the next good moment is, and some of you, you're getting stuck in your emotions about it. That's causing your wounds to be triggered over here. Ten of Fire, though, a lot of you, this being underneath the Five of Cups, this is telling me that a lot of you have overcome these wounds. A lot of you are at the end of the battle. This is like a past energy. You've already gone through this. Some of you, that this is a multi-team, person team. One of you has, again, with the Knight of Wands here, or Adalita of Fire, however you want to call that, they've already put all their burdens down. They've already put in all the work. They've already done what they need to do. And there's somebody here who's still working on figuring out how they proceed. It could also represent sitting back and looking at a lot of your emotions and processing something, right? And I feel like it's possible that this person that's still on the journey that's making them wary might be somewhat associated with this Five of Cups over here. Also down here we have the Four of Water on the bottom right. And that is being bored, complacent, missing opportunities, not really seeing things, kind of being stuck in your feelings. But to me, the Four of Cups also represents emotional foundation and security. So even if you're feeling kind of blah, which could be because you're weary from some hard journey or a lot of struggles or a lot of competition, you still have your foundation. So don't forget that. Look at what you have to be grateful for. Perhaps this other person over here, because I'm picking up mostly on two people, two groups, two components, whatever it is. that are the primary in this. This could also be a relationship. This could be coming together, building something new with somebody else. Whatever kind of relationship you want to put it, you go ahead and do that. This isn't a specific kind of reading. This is whatever spirit wants to get through. Okay. I'm a multifaceted person, so I read on multiple different kinds of people in the collective at once. All right. But this person over here that is the Knight of Wands representation, who has already been the wounded warrior, who is on a journey, who is exploring and getting ready to go forward, has already put their burdens down. Possibly this one in the wounded warrior energy who's feeling confused or trying to figure out their emotional stability. Also come out of the Five of Cups here, right? To be victorious on this, whatever this goal is, this collaboration. Perhaps it would serve them to communicate with this Knight of Wands who has already been through it, unless there's some kind of conflict, which if there is, we'll pick it up here in the cards in a minute. There is some kind of closing of cycle here with Pachamama with the World card. That is huge new beginnings and endings, huge cycles ending. And it's under the Nine of Fire with the collaboration. So if you do resonate with the person who's kind of struggling right now, who's feeling a little battle weary, whatever that may be, why, I don't know. That's going to be unique to you. And I do personal readings. Check out the description box if you want to connect. Anyways, it seems like this person is closing a huge freaking cycle right now. And with the Two of Air, the Two of Swords underneath, the Seven of Cups underneath the Knight of Wands, it's making a decision and not getting lost in the sauce, so to speak. So you can journey on as the Knight of Wands. So you can move forward on your passions, on your way to being this King of Fire, right? Because of the Five of Water above the Ten of Wands here with the Adelita Earth, this is, some of you have been working on this for a very long time. Those of you that resonate with the Wounded Warrior, we'll call it that, okay? And again, there's no judgment here. We're just speaking the truth, all right? If you feel triggered at any point throughout this, pause the video, take a deep breath. I recommend the box breath. That's, in fact, I'll do it with you right now because I feel like someone's getting frustrated. I'm also talking really quickly because the energy is really quick. It's very fiery. So everyone who can take a deep breath, please do. Ready? We're going to do one deep inhale and then a slow 4-part release like you're letting air out of a balloon. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, in. Out. If you feel like you want to, do that one more time, but don't do it a third. You will get too lightheaded. And if you do try it to get lightheaded, you might not want to keep listening to this reading because I advised you not to. I'm not a doctor, but just try to use some common sense, please, and thank you. All right? So those of you that do identify with the quote-unquote wounded warrior, these burdens you've been trying to put down, and for some of you, I'm very much feeling that it is emotional burdens of the past. In order to close out this cycle, you have to decide, you have to make a choice here. You have to stop blocking what is coming to you. For some of you, you need to stop blocking your emotions, stop getting distracted with work, stop getting distracted with other people. In other words, eliminate the distractions and look at what is right in front of you, especially with the 4 cups down here on the side. Some of you are feeling very bored, complacent, you're kind of stuck in a rut, or you're just like, you're feeling the same emotions over and over. That's indicative of a trauma loop, okay? And the way that you break out of a trauma loop is being mindful enough to see it. Some of us are fortunate and we have good social support and people, or if you're in therapy, which I recommend talk therapy, I'm also an advocate. But if you are able to get somebody who can bounce off and give you observations that are healthy, that are sound, right? People who actually have your back and your good intentions for you. Excuse me, confirmation burp. Excuse me. Yep, some of you already have this, so definitely go to them to help you process your feelings, right? Learn how to regulate yourself. When you are able to be mindful or get sound professional advice or a trusted elder or something like that, somebody who doesn't have anything to gain from you doing better, and somebody who's not offended by your forward progress. I'm not going to get into it, but there are some, unfortunately, a lot of times we'll find out that people are threatened by your growth, okay? A lot of people identify themselves by the same day in and day out. That can be represented by the Four of Cups as well. Being stuck in these cycles with the same kind of social groups, repeating the same thing over and over again. And that's usually a sign that you've outgrown your circumstance or your social group. And that doesn't mean that you don't care about the people or your community or anything. It just means that you need to find a way to experience that in a different way, or find where you are meant to be. It's a positive sign of growth. You can go through a grieving process, which this Nine of Wands can represent, especially with the Five of Cups, feeling like you're having to let go of a lot of things, feeling like you're in lack, like you don't really know where your place is, you don't really know where your journey's taking you. The song Against the Grain is coming on the music right now. So like, some of you need to be brave. I mean, that's what this fire energy is. In order to become the King of Wands, you have to be brave and get in your chariot, the Chariot card here, of victory and success, and move forward. You need to decide that you are going to break through some loops, some cycles, instead of blocking your emotions with distractions and old ways of being, or getting caught up in your head by listening to people who continue to keep you stuck because they are intimidated by your growth, okay? Anybody that starts giving you evil eyes, so to speak, because you're wanting to celebrate your forward motion, that is a red flag that they are not your people anymore, okay? I know something about this, unfortunately. I've been through it. So the Ten of Wands here next to the Adelita of Water, right? That's the Knight of Cups, and it's under the Chariot. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles under here. Remember that you have been investing in yourself, because the Knight of Cups, it's somebody who knows that what they are emotionally offering their cup to, what they want to go after with their heart, right? So for some of you, this is about trusting your heart to take you to victory and success. Knowing that all the investments and time and energy that you have put into overcoming these wounds and these cycles and everything else is worth it. And to remember that the ultimate cup of love is the one you have in your hand. That when you have invested in yourself and you have become victorious over your old cycles, and you have become a more balanced whole person because of it, you can give your cup to anybody and anything you want to, and be safe to do so, because you know your boundaries, you know your limits, you know how to give yourself love, and you'll never feel rejected. You'll never feel wounded by other people, because you know you gave to yourself first, right? This is a self-love, self-respect journey that some of us have to go through. It took me many years to figure out my own. I am on the other side of it, so I'm speaking from experience there, okay? The Seven of Pentacles is investment. That's knowing that you put in the hard work and stepping away. For some of you, this has to do with manifestation on this project. Maybe you've just been working day in and day out, putting in your passions. And some of you, I'm getting a download that you've been in competition with somebody, maybe somebody who wasn't in competition with you, but because you viewed them, you put them on a pedestal somehow, you were burning yourself out to try to keep up with them, okay? And since it's wands, it's spiritual. This could be about spiritual growth for you, somebody in a spiritual community that you could have been competing with, whether you realize it or not. And there's no shame on that. It's just, this is part of your wounds. This is, for some of you, I'm getting a side message, this is part of the cycle you need to close out, is to stop competing with others to be better, because that can also create animosity and hidden resentment, right? Sometimes the reason why other people mirror your wounds back to you is because they themselves have been through it. And if you're looking at them as somebody who is on a higher pedestal than you or in a better position than you, and you're finding yourself either using them for motivation or inspiration, hopefully not supply. Unfortunately, that happens too. For some people who have serious insecurity and lack, and I can get a lot of shade for this, but again, I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to speak the truth and help people grow and to love and to do better and feel good about themselves. So if there's any, we'll call it lower vibrational energies, cross watchers, karmics that want to throw shade, just stop. Just stop listening to the message. If you are wanting to harm people, remember that our energy gets projected onto other people. Energy goes everywhere, okay? So if you think there is no effect of your energy, there is. And also, if you ever intend to use that against people, you really got to look at yourself in the mirror. And as I say this, the song Mirror World just came on. Also, I'm a divine mirror. So if you don't like seeing a reflection of yourself because I'm seeing into your soul, you are welcome to leave, and we'll get back to everyone else who is here to do the work. Because I can feel you. I can feel you, and I'm going to decide to walk away from this energy now. You're welcome to stay and try to learn, but I'm not going to read on you anymore. Thank you so much. So, for some of you, this is about finding your own source of supply, we'll call it, right? Within yourself. Again, going back to the Knight of Cups and filling up your own cup, right? Knowing that you can offer it to anybody because you already have enough. If you are bored and complacent and allowing cycles to victimize you instead of taking initiative, being brave, and facing them head on, and continuing on, remembering what you have invested in and keeping the faith, finding ways to continue to be passionate and move through the challenges, you'll eventually get there. It's not going to be a perpetual cycle of suffering unless you choose to be victimized. And one way you can stop doing that is by looking at everything around you and then looking at everything within you. Look at what's true for you, look at what isn't true for you, and find a way to implement a road that leads you to success. Here with the Chariot, over the Knight of Cups, with the Seven of Pentacles. For some of you, you need to look at things you have invested in the past, including people, and ask yourself, were those good investments? Again, that could be the Seven of Cups over here diagonal to the Seven of Pentacles. That very much to me, and also the Chariot is the card of 7. 777 angel number might be synchronistic to somebody. Also, that is a great sign of good luck, good fortune, and spiritual involvement. So for some of you, that was a sign, a confirmation that you overcome this cycle and you are going to be victorious. You are going to be successful. But back to this here, talking about the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry, I tend to steamroll sometimes. This energy is quick. Celebrate your little wins. Be grateful for what you have, because gratitude really does breed more gratitude. And I'm not lecturing anybody, trying to make them feel ashamed. Again, if you feel that way, look at your wounds, because that's a positive thing. When you find joy from the simple things and you have a way to be happy with any circumstance, not because you think you only deserve scraps, but because maybe you've had some challenges in life, and if you can still find the sun in the dark, you can become the light. You can shine. You can move forward. You can blast through anything. I have personally done this, all right? So if you are feeling like you cannot shine, like you don't have energy, stop looking at other people to fill your cup and start filling your own. And if you don't know how to do that, this is a great place to start, by looking inward. Okay?